Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025-2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today is commemorated as World Oceans Day on 8th June. Reimagine beyond the world we know a new relationship with our ocean. So the ocean produces at least 50% of the planet's oxygen. The oxygen is key to our economy with an estimated 40 million people being employed by ocean-based industries by 2030. Oceans absorb about 30% of carbon dioxide produced by humans, buffering the impacts of global warming. The ocean covers over 70% of the planet. It is our life source, supporting humanity's sustenance and that of every other organism on Earth. So, this ocean produces at least 50% of the planet's oxygen. It is home to most of the Earth's biodiversity and is the main source of the protein for more than a billion people around the world. Not to mention, the ocean is key to our economy with an estimated 40 million people being employed by ocean based industry by 2030. Even though all the benefits, the ocean is now in need of support, with 90% of big fish populations depleted and 50% of the coral reefs destroyed. We are taking more from the ocean that can be replenished. We need to work together to create a new balance with the ocean that no longer depletes its bounty, but instead restores its vibrancy and brings its new life. So reimagine the theme of the World Ocean Day 2026 invites us to change the way we see and care for the ocean. For too long, we have viewed it as a something distinct, when in fact is a part of our daily lives, the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the climate balance that makes our existence possible. Let's stop being mere beneficiaries of its resources and let's become the true guardians of its future. Today is also commemorated as World Brain Tumor Day on June 8th, observed every year to raise awareness and educate people about brain tumors. In 2000, it was first observed by a Leipzig-based non-profit organization, the German Brain Tumor Association. A brain tumor occurs when the cells inside the brain start growing about an abnormal spread which forms a mass of abnormal cells in the brain. The enclosed space include the skull is limited. When the abnormal cell starts closing the space, the symptoms are observed. So there is no description of brain tumor in the ancient medical text, but there is recurring mention of skull trepanation, surgically intertwined burr hole into the human skull to relieve the symptoms of brain tumor. Thinkers like Socrates, Celsus, Galen, and Hippocrates mention instructions in their treatise regarding trepanation to elevate intracranial pressure, while they do not mention brain tumors in their work. In antiquity, brain tumors resulted in death after a long battle with symptoms such as headache, seizures, and coma. After the discovery of X-rays in 1895, many neurosurgeons started to localize the diagnosis. Brain tumors, a German neurosurgeon named Fedor Krause used X-rays to localize brain tumors. Later, in 1954, for the first time, non-invasive method to localize brain tumors was introduced by using nuclear scanner. It was a few decades later, Sir Godfrey and Housefield created the first CT scanner. In 1971, CT scanners were installed in London, England, and then in United States. In 1975, full body scanners were introduced. In 1971, Raymond V. Damanian reported that nuclear magnetic resonance, was also called MR, can distinguish normal from tumoral issues. In 1973, Paul C. Leuterberg produced the first images of mice using MR imaging, and in few years, the first human MR images were reported. Leuterberg won Nobel Prize in 2003 for his discovery. Today is also commemorated as Timbuktu Province Day on June 8 in the Solomon Islands to celebrate the moment Timbuktu province attained provincial government status in 1984. A flag-raising ceremony and other festivities mark the occasion, formerly known as Santa Cruz Islands. Province comprises two chains of islands parallel to each other. The islands with their beautiful white sandy beaches have the rich history. For visitors to explore, the population of Timbuktu province is mainly Melanesian, though some of its inhabitants are also Polynesian. Today is also commemorated as Team Green Britain Bike Week on June 8, 2026, celebrated every year in Britain during the second week of June, and this year it is held from June 8 to 14. Biking is an excellent way to stay fit and healthy. The bodies of people who cycle regularly remain 10 years younger in terms of fitness. There are many benefits of cycling, but the experience itself is an enjoyable activity. The thrill of cycling is hard to equal when joined by more people increases the fun. This week offers something for everyone, from families, schools, companies, and even those who have never cycled before. Today is also commemorated as National Best Friends Day on June 8, 2026. Whether near or far, old or new, best friends help to carry us through our lives. This June 8, National Best Friends Day, it's time to tell them how much we appreciate their company. As the Mayo Clinic reports, friends help you cope up with trauma such as divorce, serious illness, job loss, or the death of loved one. They also encourage you to change or avoid unhealthy lifestyle habits such as excessive drinking or lack of exercise, and vice versa. So today, the day to enjoy a little one-on-one time with the people who never fail to catch us when we fail. If you want to buy a friend something special to mark this occasion, then check out something for your best friend. Today is also commemorated as International Day of Action for Elephants in Zoos, held on June 8th every year as a worldwide event aimed at raising awareness about the conditions of elephants in zoo and ideally spending elephants in zoos to authorize sanctuaries. During its first year, dedicated activities in 33 cities across 7 countries held outreach events and demonstrations attracting attention from the media and educating the public about the tragic consequences of keeping elephants in tiny, unnatural zoo enclosures where they have been suffering and dying prematurely. Elliot M. Katz, a veterinarian, served as president of the In Defense of Animals IDA organization from its inception in 1983 until he died in 2021. Katz attended Cornell's University School of Veterinary Medicine and graduated with honors in 1989. He became involved in animal rights issues after activists approached him for assistance in putting an end to animal experimentation at the University of California, Berkeley allegedly overpopulated and unsanitary laboratories. As a result, Katz assisted in the formation of Californians for Responsible Research, which advocated for the campus to provide better care for the animals used in research. IDEA believes that elephants die prematurely in zoos and that urban zoos simply do not have adequate space for these majestic, intelligent animals. The animal rights organization PETA has backed IDEA's fight against elephants in zoos. IDEA releases a list of 10 worst zoos for elephants regularly. It claimed in 2004 that it persuaded the San Francisco Zoo to relocate its elephants to a sanctuary. The zoo, on the other hand, maintained the idea that IDEA has nothing to do with the elephants' relocation. As part of a larger campaign, IDEA has accused the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. and other zoos of violating the Animal Welfare Act. According to IDEA, the United States Department of Agriculture has acknowledged the severity of concern surrounding the poor environments for elephants in our national zoos. In response to IDEA, Woodland Park Zoo argued that the limiting space argument is oversimplified and that elephants in zoos receive the greatest care available. So the African elephant is indeed the world's largest land mammal, with the males growing up to 9.8 feet tall and weighing up to 6 tons on average, which makes Earth's biggest terrestrial mammals. African elephant ears are much bigger than Asian elephant ears and are characterized as being shaped much like the African continent, whereas Asian elephants' ears are shaped much like the Indian subcontinent. Their ears distinguish the two species. Elephant tusks are enlarged incisor teeth that appear in elephants around the age of 2 and continue to develop throughout their lives. Their tusks are, in fact, the teeth. The skin of the elephant can be as thick as 1 inch, and they have a thick skin. Elephants communicate through various means, including trumpet calls, body language, touch, and scent. They also communicate via vibrations. Elephants value family. These colossal beasts live in herds. A herd is made up of matriarch elephant, her daughters, and the children of her daughters. Elephants embrace one another by wrapping their trunks around one another and placing their trunks in the mouths of one another. We think that it's beautiful. They aid in seed dispersal through their dung as they move over the savanna and rainforest in search of food. Elephant dung functions like fertilizer and aids in the growth of the seeds. This contributes to the growth of new food and habitats for animals, and earning the name as forest gardener for the elephants. Today is also commemorated as Eat Flexitarian Day on June 8 for people everywhere to try the incredibly delicious world of plant-based food. By adopting a flexitarian lifestyle, you can enjoy the best of both worlds while continuing to eat the foods you love and discovering new savory, satisfying alternatives that leave you feeling like you are the best balanced self. For many people, a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle can be difficult to adopt because it's assumed that this limits many delicious food. But in fact, this is a myth. Eating flexitarian is a great alternative and is an opportunity for people to incorporate more plant-based foods that satisfy those cravings with the option to enjoy Eat Flexitarian Days dedicated to encouraging more plant-based protein into our diets without compromising on quality, taste, or convenience. Today is also commemorated as Right of the Way Professionals Week from June 8th to 14th in US, celebrated in second week of June. It will be held from June 8th to 14th. You might be wondering what a right of way profession does. Well, ever wondered how infrastructure and development projects are constructed in the private spaces? That's right, these guys come with right of way professionals, negotiate and work with landowners to secure rights for the privately held property on behalf of third parties. All kinds of work can be done on the land, including building a highway, pipeline, and other facilities. Today is also commemorated as National Pet Wedding Week from June 8 to 14th in US, celebrated in the second week of June. That's right. There will be no more premarital breeding. It's time for him to put a ring on. So the week promotes love between two pets by sanctifying their union. So the lovebirds, literally in some cases, can spend the rest of their lives breeding and growing old together. Today is also commemorated as National Little League Week from June 8 to 14th in the US, second week of June, and this has been a tradition of over 80 years now. Takes place from June 8 to 14th this year. The program began with an intention of bringing communities together and aiding in the development of young people into a well-rounded citizens of the society. This Little League's motto is character, courage, and loyalty. Clearly, the vision has had an enormous impact, not just in the US, but all around the world. As today it is played in over 80 countries and all the states of the US, the Little League has always stood up for fair play, sportsmanship, and teamwork. So it's little wonder that it is so popular even today. Today is also commemorated as National Email Week from 8th to 14th in the second week of June. We know that we are not exaggerating when we say that emails have changed the world. They have touched the lives of nearly every person on this planet and all for better. Emails are now preferred way of communicating, and they can also be the easiest, most low cost, and most effective way of communicating. We are not quite sure what our lives would look like without emails, and frankly, we don't want to live in a world without them. Today is also commemorated as National Automotive Service Professional Week from June 8 to 14. During the second week of June this year, it takes place. Troubles can be most frustrating. A flat tire when we have a long day ahead, a breakdown when we are running late, or being stranded in the middle of nowhere. It's not just the trouble, but the timing of it when it feels like nothing more can go wrong. Usually does. So today is the day to thank the superhumans who keep our rides up and running and save from troublesome days. This week is also commemorated as Vision Rehabilitation Week. And with this, we conclude today's session of commemorations and celebrations. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link, with different commemorations.